Welcome to Moon Harbor Extended. Today's issue is Cosmic, issue 14. Here we go again. On the cover, we see Weaver facing the reader, center cover. He's pointing a ridiculously large sci-fi rifle directly at the reader. In the foreground, we can see the team, backs to the reader, facing Weaver. In Ovi's arms, we see the limp body of the previous Weaver. We turn the page and our story begins.
Our first panel shows Weaver holding that just massive sci-fi gun at the end of the alley, kind of a copy of the last panel from the previous issue. And then the next panel cuts to Ovi, Mason, and Jet standing in the middle of the alley. We can see Mal up above on the fire escape. Mal, have you noticed what's going on down there? Or are you intent watching in the window?
I turned around as soon as the other Mason got back. So yes, I am focused on the alley.
Okay. He has this gun leveled at the three of you kind of in the middle of this alley, and you can see it starting to charge.
Can I create like a portal shield in front of us? Like a giant portal, so that way when he shoots, we're all covered by it and it goes somewhere else.
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and just give me a defend.
Would you say that I'm defending someone or something critically important to the future?
Are you?
Me?
I mean, it's me, Mason, and Jet.
It's gotta be me.
Ovi defending herself is like, I'm critically important to the future.
I think that, like, between the three of us, at least one of us is.
Absolutely. I just think it's funny that you're like, I'm going to defend myself. I'm critically important.
Yeah. Well, because then this stick to the mission lets me shift my savior up, which I fucking need.
Yeah, that sounds real useful right now.
Yep. And then I shift down a label. Shift down my superior. Okay, and then I will not be able to clear condition.
Okay, actually, before you roll this, do we want to go ahead and enter battle? We have not actually done that yet.
Yes, please.
Okay, cool, because we are out of team if we don't do that. So let's put a pause on that roll. We'll jump back right into it. But first things, who is the leader in this situation?
Ovi, I think.
Probably Ovi.
Ovi.
Ovi is the captain.
Awesome.
God damn it.
Ovi, do you have influence over everyone?
I do not have influence over Jet.
Okay. And Ovi, what is your purpose in this fight?
That's a good question. In this particular fight, stop Weaver. Find out what the fuck is happening.
Okay. Let's go Jet. What's your purpose?
Beat something up.
All right. Mason?
Yeah, try to defeat Weaver, I guess.
And Mal?
Probably stop Weaver. But I don't think necessarily violence is my first goal.
Okay. Member mistrust the leader or the team?
Yeah, I don't trust Mason.
Would you like to mark a condition to not lose that one?
I mean, I have no conditions marked, so considering how many no's we're getting, I'll take hopeless.
Okay. And so that leaves us at 2 team.
God, we would have had none if I didn't mark any conditions.
Yeah, that was, I think, the worst entering battle we've ever had on Moon Harbor.
I think that's correct.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to defend.
So before I did stick to the mission, my savior was at a -2. That's a 6, but thankfully I marked 2 conditions, so we have 2 teams, so somebody please help.
I'll send a team to do the thing.
How do you help?
I think Weaver was actually going to be aiming the gun slightly below the portal at their feet to when he saw the portal opening. And I'm just going to reach down and use gravity to pull the gun slightly upward so the blast goes into the portal.
Okay, cool. I'm into that. We see Weaver raise the gun and charge. He rips it in the portal and he adjusts it down. And as he fires, you yank it back upward. So that brings it to a 7. On a 7 to 9, it costs you. Do you want to expose yourself to danger or escalate the situation?
I will expose myself to danger, and I'm going to add a team to the pool. I love that with stick to the mission, I can't choose to clear a condition, which is what I just took to. But yeah, we have another team.
So I think we see the blast go through the portal, and then it comes out of another portal behind you. I think just in your haste, you just threw up 2 quick portals close by, and it hits the side of the building, blasting a giant hole in the wall. And we see the panel of the dust settling, and then we see 4 of the people of this planet that have been taken over by Weaver, smiling down from above. And they just start jumping out the window down to the alleyway.
How far up is that?
Second floor.
Okay. That's still a long way to jump.
Yeah, they're metal. It's fine.
Oh, yeah, there's robots here. Forgot about that.
And I think as they're advancing, like on the group of the three of you, does anyone else there want to do anything? Jet or Mason, do you have any action you want to do here, or do you want me to jump to Mal?
I kind of want to try something.
Okay, Mason, what do you do?
I want to see if I can disrupt the connection between Weaver and the drones somewhat.
Cool. How are you planning on doing that?
So I was thinking of sending like very invasive messages into Weaver's head. Stuff like, you mustn't forget to get the ice cream out of the fridge later, and like just random thoughts and just launch them into his head.
Okay. That sounds like a mental assault. Do you want to roll to directly engage?
Sure. I'll use I have many mouths and I'm a scream then, because that one triggers for a mental assault. That's a 5.
Cool. Tell me what it looks like on the page when you make contact with his mind. Like, how is that drawn?
I think there's like a speech bubble connected to both of our heads. And there's like images in there.
Oh, excellent. And I think like we see like the thoughts you're sending and the thoughts he's sending written in like a distinctly different font. And in the panels, like with these connected, we see like as he's advancing down the alley, lifting the gun up again, like his thoughts start pushing more and more until they like push through the whole thought bubble, like down the little pointy bit and into your mind. And we see you like in your mind, you hear just like, just give up. You can't beat me. I'll just keep trying until I get it right. And you just get filled with this very overwhelming sense of hopelessness. And I want you to go ahead and take a powerful blow.
This is going super well.
I'm sure you all are just getting all the low rolls out of the way, right?
Sure, this is high one. See?
See? You got all the low rolls out of the way.
Exactly.
You jinxed it.
That's a 10.
That's a 10. I mean, I am being mentally assaulted by my worst fear. So I feel like it's time to lose control of my powers in a terrible way, I guess.
Oh boy. Okay.
I mean, I don't feel like I can lowball this one.
That's fair. Do you have any ideas for what that looks like?
I mean, the obvious choice is that Weaver gets control over me like I'm a drone for a bit, right?
Is that what we want to lean into? I'm okay with that if it's what you want to lean into.
I think I want to ask that to the team, because it sounds like a fun one to lean into, but it's
Oof. Yeah, that's a tough choice.
If we go that route, it'll probably be like a temporary time. It'll just be for the next little bit of this fight.
Yeah. And I think I would want to go like fairly zombie with it, like not mind control, because I know that listeners don't always appreciate mind control stuff.
Anyone have opinions?
I'm fine with it.
I failed him.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. We'll just have to content warning for maybe not mind control, but whatever this ends up looking like.
Okay, so I think we see the panel of like these thoughts pushing into Mason's head, and I think we get a panel of him like squinting his eyes closed really tight. And when he opens his eyes, like he has this glint in his eyes, and then just a very Weaver smile. And I think from there, we're going to cut, just down the alley for just a second, to Mal up on the fire escape. Mal, looking down this, you have a pretty good view of the whole scene, but also like looking in through the window, you can see that the one goon that you had been looking at in the previous issue has turned and seen you and is holding a gun. What do you do?
I look over, I see the goon. I think I'm like facing the alley and look over my shoulder. And I roll my eyes, put my hand up, and just send a blast of star energy into the apartment.
Cool. What are you intending to do with that?
I want to at least take the gun away from him, like melt the gun. If I hurt him more, oh well.
Tell me what happens.
I put my hand out and send a blast of star energy in through the window. And I think it's like very, very bright in there, and probably also very hot, but very, very bright. And when the like fire clears, we see the guy like holding the handle of the gun, but the barrel of it and like the rest of it, the whole like front part has all just completely melted away.
Okay, excellent.
And I'm like, over my shoulder, I'm like, just stay there. I really don't feel like hurting you today.
He throws the gun down to the ground and advances on you, like raising his fists.
I turn and I put my hands on the wall, and I'm going to try to burn the wall / the floor and basically just drop him into the apartment below him.
Oh, give me an unleash.
That's a 7.
Do you want that to be, do you want to mark a condition, or do you want that to be unstable or temporary?
Unstable or temporary is fine.
Okay, excellent. I see we get the panels of the floor like heating up, and then it just drops out from underneath them. And after that, like, are you turning down or turning to look down at everything going on in the alley?
Yeah, I don't even think I watch him fall. I just like turn and I'm like, okay, cool.
Okay, excellent. We get the panel of you turning, and then a panel the readers see, but the team doesn't. As we see in the very like basement of this, some of this like liquid metal from the floor dripping down next to some like tanks labeled explosive. And then we're going to follow your gaze down to the alley, and we see Mason just take a swing at Jet. Just straight punch. Mason, go ahead and roll to directly engage for me.
That's a 4. I'm being a good zombie.
Nice try, buddy.
Jet, you see this punch coming. You could easily stop it. How do you do so? What do you do?
I want to grab the punch in the midair and press him down onto the floor.
You do
so. Immobilize him.
You do so. Do you like say anything when you do it?
Yes. 1 second. No.
That got me. So we get Jet, like Mason taking a swing at Jet. Jet fairly smoothly catching the arm, slamming Mason to the ground. Ovi, do you still have the portal up? Are you still holding that?
Yeah, I'm still holding it up.
Cool. This is still definitely happening beside you if you have any reaction to it.
And then you said there were the dupes that were jumping down?
Yeah, there's like 4 of them coming at you from the side, and Weaver advancing like with the portal between the 3 of you and him.
Jet's, I don't like what's happening with Mason, but it looks like Jet's got that handled. Can I do like a fake out, like close the portals, wait for Weaver to be about to shoot, and then do the same portal trick, but instead of the other one being behind us, have it aimed at the dupes?
Yeah, absolutely. What move feels best for that? I'm kind of leaning towards directly engage, but I'm open to thoughts.
Yeah, because that's gonna hurt, not the big threat, but a threat.
Right, yeah, because I think your goal here is to do damage to these dupes. So, yeah, let's go with a directly engage.
Yeah, and I'm afraid this is great. That's a 5.
We do have 2 team left, right? Up to y'all.
I think everybody's busy.
I'm the only one who could do anything, I think. But me spending a team doesn't help.
Okay. So we see like this look of focus. You drop the portal. Weaver raises the gun and fires. And I think the panel, like we see from your perspective, the bolt flying straight at you. And then we get a panel of the portal, and it slices the like energy bolt in half, and half of it hits you directly in the chest. So go ahead and roll to take a powerful blow for me.
Can I defend?
Sure. What are you doing?
I think I see the trajectory and I realize that the bolt's going to get sliced in half. I want to essentially just like use the gravity to pull Ovi up out of the street. Like just like lift her up like 4 feet into the air so it misses her.
Sure. Go ahead and roll to defend.
That's an 8.
That is an 8. So on a 7 to 9, it costs you expose yourself to danger or escalate the situation, and then pick one from the list.
Let's do the one from the list. I think I'm going to add a team to the pool.
Okay.
So put us at 3 team. I think if I escalate the situation, it's probably going to make that thing explode. So I'm going to say expose myself to danger.
Y'all know me so well. So we get this bolt flying at Ovi, and then she just gets ripped up into the air. And I think we get this kind of cool shot of like Ovi spinning in air and like meeting eyes with Mal as the other half of the bolt, the part that did go through the portal, flies out of a portal and slams into Mal. Mal, go ahead and just mark a condition.
Cool. I think I'm going to mark hopeless.
And do you maintain your focus there, or does Ovi drop when you get hit? It's not going to like do mechanical damage. Just curious what happens.
I think I keep Ovi up. I think that's why I'm marking hopeless, is because I'm looking around and like all my teammates are kind of in bad positions, but I'm determined not to let it get worse. So I'm going to keep Ovi up in the air there.
Okay. Anyone have any reactions to this before I like change spotlight?
Not for me.
Too busy.
I want to look down at the gravity like circling around me and like the debris floating in the gravity from where the floor just fell and be like, some good you are, asshole.
Who are you talking to?
The gravity floating around me.
Oh, okay. I was confused.
Yeah, it's stopped a lot of attacks, but it didn't work this time.
Valid. And I think our next panel is a close-up of like Jet and Mason, with Jet pinning Mason to the ground. And I think we see Mason like close his eyes, shake his head, and when he opens them, it's definitely Mason's eyes back in control. And then we get the panel pulled back a bit, and the 4 Lagoons are now standing around the two of you. What do you do? I guess Jet here.
I'm going to give him a very expectant look.
I think at this point, Mason is very shocked about what happened with the losing control. But he also realizes that it's been like forever since he's been part of like another mind. And he suddenly realizes how all that stuff works again. And I'm going to roll a new move called Guide My Hand. And it says trust code both ways. For a brief moment, you relinquish control to a teammate. They take +1 forward and describe in what way your character directly helps their action. So I think the way that looks on panel is that Jet suddenly realizes that he's 2 bodies standing next to each other. And Jet, you get to control me for 1 action.
Okay, then. So we're surrounded by 4 guys, right?
Yep. With Weaver still advancing down the alley towards you, Ovi floating in the air a bit above you, and Mal on the fire escape still.
All right, so I want to advance on Weaver, and so I would like to use Mason to get at least one of the other guys, like, behind me.
So what do you have Mason do?
Tackle, bro!
Just one Mason, or are you making him split?
I forgot he could do that. Oh man, that's going to feel so weird to split. I think I'm just going to have him tackle the one. I don't know if I even know that I can have this power over him.
Okay, cool. So what I'm going to have you do is have you roll the directly engage against Weaver. Mason gives you the +1, and it's kind of against everything here. So go ahead and roll to directly engage with a +1.
10.
Told you we'd get to the good rolls eventually. All right.
Yeah, of course. They're on the person who needs potential.
Right. On a 10 plus, pick 2.
Can I also... Oh, wait. Okay, well, I'm going to resist or avoid their blows. And I am going to frighten them. But also, I wonder, could I do this?
In a china shop?
Yes.
What kind of collateral damage are you doing?
Well, I'm thinking, let's tear down something above us to land on some of the guys around me. Or, you know, if you want to make things explode, like you've seemed to have been working towards.
I mean, that stuff's already going to happen.
I don't know that there's a time bomb.
What does Jet do to cause collateral damage?
It's like, if there's like a fire escape from us, I want to detach it.
Like as you're running, like throw a blast of water to like knock it off the wall?
I actually want to shoot up into the air and punch it down.
I am absolutely good with that. So pick a third option.
All right. So I want to also take something from him. And that thing is... Help. How am I going to make him not do the body swap thing again?
I don't know if that's something you all have the tech or powers to do right now.
You could take the gun.
You could take his focus. If you like keep blasting him with water, he'll be distracted and won't be able to focus.
I mean, that's kind of what I said with frighten or surprise.
I'd also be okay if you took the rest of his goons from him. Like that could land on them.
Yeah. All right.
What do you want to go with?
Yeah, I'm taking out the goons.
Okay, cool. So I think we get like a series of panels of like Jet launching into the air, knocking this thing down. And like in these panels, we're also seeing Mason fighting these goons and moving very Jet-like. Like Jet is actually a really well-trained like fighter. And we're just seeing Mason move with the fluidity of Jet during this. Sorry, to review, you took avoid their blows, impress, surprise, or frighten, and the take something from them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. And what does the panel where you hit Weaver himself look like?
So, as I'm coming back down, I want to accelerate and come down on him with a rocket fist. Well, hang on. I don't want to just straight up kill him. I am going to body slam him.
Okay, excellent. So I think we get the panel of you just slamming straight down on him. He kind of crumples a bit under you. His gun goes flying out of the mouth of the alley. And I think behind this, we see Mason jump backwards right as the scaffolding lands on the four goons, kind of pinning them down.
You also see me say, let's make some pancakes.
Now, the big question is, as Mason jumps backwards, does he wink at some girl in the crowd?
I mean, I feel like he would. It doesn't seem right not to have that happen.
Yeah.
I feel like Chet yells, what is it about pancakes?
Time to make some pancakes as I'm body slamming.
Yeah, and I think as Jet yells that, the Mason is like passing by a girl in the air and like winks at her.
And I think we get the panel of like Jet holding down Weaver. And I think in a voice that only Jet can hear, Weaver says, "Let me go or all power is gone." And looking in his hand, you can see a device with a button on it.
I would like to reach for the device. I don't give a shit about what he says.
All right.
And I'm trying to take it from him. I don't necessarily want to press the button so hastily.
Can I help with that?
I don't think you know it's happening right now.
Oh, was that quiet? Was that a quiet thing he
Yeah,
said?
it was just to Jet while he's...
Never mind.
So like, I want to try and spray just like out of my hand at it to knock it out of his hand.
All right. So I think that would be... Does that feel like a directly engage? Knocking that out of his hand?
Yes. Please do pick my best stat.
Okay, yeah, let's do a directly engage. So I think you're pinning him down and just trying to like blast water to knock it out of his hand before he can press it.
Oh.
I'll spend a team to help with that.
I don't think you're aware this is happening because this was something that only Jet could hear Weaver say. So I think we see the panel of
Jet, spin a team selfishly.
Oh, you could.
Yes, I could. What is Mal doing right now?
Holding Ovi in the air, and they are standing on a fire escape.
On a fire escape I didn't bring down.
The only one.
Okay, wait, so you're holding Ovi. Does it look like you're fighting anything?
Nope, I'm literally just focusing on using the gravity to hold Ovi in the air.
But I believe like actively straining a bit at the concentration because there was a lot going on.
And why is Ovi like that?
Ovi is like that because a blast from Weaver's gun flew at her and she opened a portal, but not quick enough to stop the whole blast, and Mal lifted her into the air at the last second.
Okay, I'm not sure if I saw that. So I am a little annoyed at Ovi for not pulling her weight.
Rude.
Ovi, who has no control over her movement, who's like, I'm just hanging here.
And I'm afraid and hopeless, which are not great for a fight.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna shout out, like, what are you doing up there? Now's not the time to fall asleep.
Is that to Ovi or Mal?
That's to Ovi.
How much am I able to move right now?
I think that's a question for Mal.
I don't think you're able to. I think I'm like firmly holding you in place.
Cool. Then I can't do anything.
I can. Well, hold on. So was that you spending team selfishly there to bump that up to a 7?
Yes.
So you're shifting your danger up and what down?
I am going to shift mundane down.
Cool. And that brings it to a 7, so you can pick one off the list.
I want to take something.
Cool. I think we get, I'm assuming it's the device.
Oh, gee, man. I don't know. I'll have to think about this one.
Cool. We get the panel of Weaver's thumb coming down on the button, and then just the blast of water knocking out of his hand at the last second. And I think we're going to cut from that panel up to Mal holding Ovi up, and you start hearing the like onomatopoeia of the fire escape cracking off of the side of the building. And I think we get the panel of like you looking over and seeing these bolts giving way. This place has just taken a lot of damage. And that is when you start hearing like the low rumble of the explosion in the building, like basement. What do you do?
I actually don't even look at Ovi. I'm like, Ovi, cover your head. And then I want to throw Ovi at Jet. And with that, I'm going to like launch myself into the air. So when the building collapses, it doesn't land on me. Actually, before I do that, where is Mason right now?
Mason is like down in the middle of this alley, standing like amidst the wreckage of the rest of the fire escapes that Jet just kind of punched off the walls.
All right, I'm throwing Ovi at Jet to get Ovi into the action. And then I'm going to fly up and at the same time try to lift Mason with me so he doesn't get crushed when this fire escape collapses.
Cool. So your intention with throwing Ovi at Jet, what are you trying to accomplish with that? Just so I'm clear.
I actually think if we're looking mechanically, I'm trying to get Ovi to jump into the action because Jet was like, Ovi, why aren't you doing anything? And I was like, fine, you want Ovi to do something? I'm going to throw her at you. So I think it might actually be a provoke if there's a roll happening there.
So you're just trying to throw Ovi like into that pile to get Ovi into the action?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Pick one of these things that you're not going to roll for. Which of these things do you do well?
I think I can throw Ovi very well.
Awesome. So
it's probably the defending of Mason that I'm not going to do so well.
Cool. So Ovi, what do the panels of you being thrown and landing there look like?
Probably like the initial, oh my God, I can move, and like just like a slight like movement and delight on her face. And then the rush as she is thrown. And am I like colliding with Jet and or Weaver?
That is up to you. Tell me how this ends up. Because at current, Jet is like pinning Weaver down. I think the gun and the device have both like skittered out of the alleyway. And Jet, I think, is probably still blasting water at one of Weaver's hand, like empty hands at this point. So up to you how this looks.
I think it's more fun if I hit both of them.
Cool. Like, do you want to hit with force and like the three of you kind of go tumbling out of the alleyway, Mal?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Awesome.
Whee!
I think in the background of that, we see Mal grabbing Mason like under the arms, and go ahead and roll defend for me.
That's an 8.
All right. On a 7 to 9, do you want to expose yourself to danger or escalate the situation?
I'm going to escalate the situation.
Cool. Go ahead and pick one of those options off the list, too.
I can't take influence over Mason because that would give him influence over me, and he can't have that. I'm going to clear a condition. I'm not hopeless anymore. I'm good.
Cool. And I think we get the panels of like the two of you facing straight up towards the sky and like the reader with this explosion going off underneath you. And I think for now we like see the fire overtake you.
Moon Harbor Heroes is produced by Anthony Sheets, T.B. Hughes, and Elliot Peterson, and edited by Anthony Sheets and Sean Geddes. Anthony can be found on Twitter at IcyNewYear or at IcyNewYear.com. T is a theater artist and educator in the DC area. She can be found at T Hughes Playwright on Twitter or TPHughes94 on Instagram. Elliot can be found at Elliot Ylen on Twitter. That's ELLIOTYLEN. Sean can be found at The Crumpit, THECRUMPIT, on Twitter. Moon Harbor Heroes is played using Masks: A New Generation, written by Brendan Conway and produced by Magpie Games. The music in this issue is Work by Kevin MacLeod. A link to his website and the license will be in the show notes. Our logo was designed by Beautiful Beasties. She can be found on Instagram at beastly.doodles or on Patreon at patreon.com/beautifulbeasties. This issue is GM'd by Anthony Sheets. Stardust is played by T. Huth. Portali is played by Elliot Peterson. Jet is played by EXPHP. You probably won't find him at It's EXPHP on Twitter, but it's worth a try. Mason is played by Simon Meskins. You can find him as at Gilbereka, GILBERREKE on Twitter. If you want to get a hold of us, email us at moonharborheroes@gmail.com or find us on Twitter at moonharborcast. If you enjoyed this issue, please leave us a review on your podcatcher of choice or tell a friend. 5-star reviews and word of mouth are really the best way for us to keep bringing these stories to more people. If you'd like to support us financially, check us out at patreon.com/moonharborheroes. Supporting us there will give you access to bonus issues each month. And thank you for helping us save the world. We'll see you next issue.